Okay, gentlemen, today I am going to show you how to apply cell generators to a unit and even how to create your own cell generators. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a unit. This thing does not have a cell generator properly applied to it. So if I go over here and press the cell button and click on it, it's just going to disappear immediately. Now, arguably, there are 4, possibly 5 things that you need to do to a unit or a building in order for a cell generator to work. Okay, so the first thing is that you have your attributes close to the top of the file, and it's going to look something like this. This is already fine, and I'll tell you what this stuff does. This tactical cell percent modifier basically reduces, or I guess even increases, the amount of money that you get whenever you sell the item based on how much it's worth. So this is set to negative 0.5, meaning that you're going to get half the value of what it's worth when you sell it. And tactical sell time is basically how long it takes for an item to be sold. So you need that. And then in your land behaviors, you need to make sure that you have tactical sell. If you don't have tactical sell, you will not be able to sell things. Like you hover your mouse over it when you try to sell it, nope, can't sell it. So you need this. And then you need to make sure that your tactical cell behavior type uses a cell generator that already exists or one that you have created. And right here, okay, this does not exist. No one created this. So if you go ahead and look at cell generators, these are examples of ones that you can use that are already in the game. You can go in there, you can grab one, and then you can just plop it right back into here. So we're going to use the Novus cell generator. And then last but not least, we have a very important step, which is you need to go to your effect generator data, which is near the bottom of your unit, and you're going to add these comments. Now, I don't know who in their right mind at Petroglyph decided to use comments for proprietary source code in the game. You have to have this or it will not work. And it makes my mind melt. Whoever coded this deserves to be slapped. But regardless, this comment has to be in here, and it has to be inside of your effect generator data in order for it to work. And you have to make sure that this directory is the same directory that your effect generator for the cell condition exists inside of. Now, as you can see, when we go to sell this unit, it does the little Novus evaporation thing with the cell. Now let's say you wanted to change the cell generator. We just used the Novus one, but let's say that we want to use the hierarchy one. We're going to grab the name here, this alien cell generator, and we're going to put that inside of our tactical cell behavior. But if you do this alone, it's not going to work. You know why it's not going to work? Because you got to go back down to the freaking comment, and you have this directory. And you need to put in the directory of that cell generator. Now, keep in mind, you might not have this file in your mod, so if you want to look for it, I would suggest going to the patch 3 debug section. So if you were to look for it, you could go ahead and find one of the Novus cell behaviors, whatever, and then search for it in here, and then you have the effect generator name, and you can find the directory. So if we go over here, we can click Reveal in File Explorer. And those are the files that you would put inside of your mod, but also this is the directory. XML includes cell effect generators. But regardless, you need the correct directory. So if we want the alien one, we're going to copy the name of this XML right here, and then we can go back to our mod, and then we're going to paste that into the directory and save it. So now, as you can see, once we're in the game, it is using the alien cell effect instead of the Novus one. Now let's say, as a hypothetical, we were going to apply this to a building. We would do pretty much exactly the same thing. Add our section right here for the attributes near the top, followed by making sure that we have tactical cell. Add the tactical cell behavior type. And down here at the bottom, where we have all these effect generators, we're going to slide in our comments. Now, again, you can find these comments all throughout the code, but you just copy, paste that in there, and make sure that your directory is the same directory to the cell generator that you are using. Now, even though it will work for this building, there are some buildings that you need to keep an eye out for in terms of what effect generators are configured, because if you have an effect generator for this, you need to make this change or it's not going to work. And this is predominant throughout a lot of Novus structures. And this is Novus Research Matter Conversion Effect Generator. And if you have this, what this does is it by default cuts the amount of money you're going to get in return for selling an object in half. So as you can see here, if we go to this effect generator and we look it up, that's what it's doing. It's setting that tactical cell modifier to negative 0.5, meaning that you're only going to get half the money back. But you might be all like, okay, but isn't there a value that already does this? Yes. And it's normally supposed to be up here at the top with the attributes. But as you can tell, it is missing. All you need is the tactical cell time. You don't need tactical cell percent modifier up here. If you have this and you have that effect generator, they're going to conflict with each other and the building is still going to sell instantly. Now, keep in mind that what's happening here is this is on by default, and it's making it give you only half of the money back for the building. But what happens is this effect generator is a block generator, and this gets unlocked through research, I think, when you hit tier 3. Yeah, when you hit tier 3 in this research, it's going to make it to where this blocks that effect generator from activating, and then it basically is just a 1.0 modifier, meaning that if the building is at full health, you will receive all of the money back for it. Just keep that in mind, that if you want that research on your building, you are going to want to change your attributes to make sure that the cell modifier, this tactical cell modifier, is just not there. So it'd look like this if that ability was applied to this motor pool. Now, in terms of other technical jargon, you do need to make sure that your unit costs something in order for it to be sold and for you to get money back. That should be relatively obvious. But yeah, so now I would like to show you how to create your own cell generator. Let's say that you want to create your own custom effect for something being sold. How would you do it? Well, I'll show you how you do it. So first off, you're going to want to navigate back to that directory where you have your cell modifiers inside of your mod. So these are our cell generators, and they are located inside of our mod, and we're going to create a new file. And we can name this whatever we want, but for the sake of this video, let's just call it my cell generator. All right, you can put as many cell generators inside of this file as you want, but we just created one, and it could have been empty. You could have just made a txt file, whatever. We just copied the Novus one, which is perfectly fine. So what we can do is rename this. We'll say my cell generator again with the capital letters, and then what happens is this is basically an effect generator, and this effect generator is calling for this effect. So if we go look for that effect, you'll find it in here under Novus generic effects. Now you can copy and paste this into a different effects file, or you can make your own effects file and define that inside of the objects XML, whatever the case, however you want to do it. But for this video, I'm just going to copy this and paste it right here. If we head back to your cell generator, let's just call it my cell effect. So we'll save this. and head back to the Novus generic effects, and then we'll just name it this. And everything here you want to keep relatively the same. What you want is this dissolve effect name, okay? And this is basically the overlaid thing that appears on the model whenever it starts to disappear. So if we copy this and we take a look for it in the code, you will find it under dissolve effect types. Now remember, this might not be in your mod. You would go to the patch 3 debug, you would find this file, slap it in your mod. This is the effect that it would use. And what's happening is you have this image file. It says it's a TGA, but that's a lie. It's actually a DDS file. If we take a look at this in the textures folder for patch 3, this is what it looks like. So this is basically a transparent DDS file that is being overlaid on top of the model whenever something happens to it. The brighter these pixels are, like the less transparent they are, the more they're going to show up. The less transparent, the more faded they're going to be. So if this is a solid color, it's going to be a solid overlay. And the reason this is white is because it overlays a color on top of this texture. And basically right here, you have the time that it starts to dissolve. So it's starting at the very beginning. And then you have the time that it stops dissolving. We have the 0.85. I would just leave all that stuff the same. You have the reveal flash duration. I don't know what that does, but it's whatever. And the dissolve color, okay? What the dissolve color is it's the color of the texture being overlaid on top of your scene. So if we went to like an HTML color code or whatever, and you put in these colors, 150, 150, 255, that's the color. That is the color of the texture that is being overlaid. Actually, no, that's the glow color. The glow color is the glow that's emitting from the texture as it's disintegrating. And this is the distance, I believe, that it will put that glow on the ground. And the dissolve color is the color of the textures. So this is the glow color, and the dissolve texture is this right here. So it's just like a dark blue color, and then it glows with a light blue. And that's kind of the gist of it. And then this is the scale of the UV, so you can change the scale of the texture that is being applied on top of the object. You change this number, it changes the scale. So let's say we wanted to create our own custom one. We would take this and we would paste a new section in here, and we will name this whatever we want. We'll call it My Dissolve Beacon. So we're going to copy that, and we're going to make sure to put that inside of our dissolve effect, this new dissolve effect that we created. Save that, go into here. Now, for the sake of this video, I did create a custom texture. As you can see, this is a DDS file with some transparency. It's a very ugly looking one. I wouldn't recommend doing this the way I did it with AI and cropping out the background or whatever. But for the sake of this video, it can show you that you can change these and do what you want with them. So you would go to your mod, into the textures folder, and you're just going to put this DDS file inside of there. You're going to take the name of that DDS file, and then you're going to put that name as the name of your file. Keep TGA, don't change the DDS. But you have your name, and then, I don't know, let's say that we want the same colors as like the radiation dissolve effect. We can just copy these colors right here and put them inside of this. But yeah, we have our own custom dissolve effect. So this dissolve effect is being called from this effect. This effect is being called from the effect generator inside of the file that we just created. Once we save all of this, let's say that we want to apply it to our unit. What we're going to do is we're going to head back to our unit. So in this case, we'll use the structure. And we're going to change the cell generator so we have my cell generator. But then we're going to go back to the bottom. where we have the effect generators, and where this comment is, we are going to replace this with my cell generator. Once you do this, you will have your own custom cell generator, which I will show you now. So, as you can tell, now that we are in the game, we have our building right here, and if we go to sell it, it just used our own custom cell generator. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you configure a cell generator, that's how you make your own cell generators, and that's how you get it working in the game.